What is up, you guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Mackenzie. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. We've got a lot to get into today, so I'm just gonna jump right into what's going on. So if you have not seen the first two previous videos to this little series of my office redo, check the description box down below. I'm going to link them, or just go to my channel. They'll be the last two videos that I posted. If not, today's video is gonna be all about the flooring. So I ended up taking such a long time. It's a lot of information. It needs to be its own video. So that's what today's gonna be, which means it's going to be a 4-part video total. So the last video that I'm going to post is going to be all the finishing touches, getting the furniture all in, all the shelving, all that fun stuff, and of course, the final big reveal. So today's video, all about the flooring. If that sounds interesting, let's go. Good morning. I have to go to Home Depot again. So last night, like I said, I watched a whole bunch of videos. I watched a whole bunch of videos on flooring to make sure that I was gonna do it right, from Home Depot, from other YouTubers. I'll do my best to remember to link them down in the description box below. But I need a chalk line and I need a specific floor cleaner. So I have to go back to Home Depot and see if they at least have those two and a floor roller. I guess I don't really need a floor roller, but they suggest it. But I think the most important things are that chalk line to mark out the very middle of the room to build out from, and floor cleaner to get all this paint and all the gunk up off of the floor. So going to Home Depot, then we can get started. And I did a second coat on this, but I'm not gonna show you that full thing until we're bringing all the furniture back in the room. Let's go. Okay guys, I'm back. Welcome to Home Depot. This is all the shit I needed to do the floor. Okay, well, let me rephrase that. It's not shit I needed, but it was strongly suggested that I get this stuff. So let's quickly go over it. Everything I got at Home Depot. Home Depot haul, woohoo. Okay, Sharpies. These I got for my work. Doesn't count. This I got because aesthetic. Doesn't count. Just kidding. Don't want to break it. Everything else though, I need it. This, like a heavy duty utility knife, and it comes with fresh blades. That's what I needed more so than anything, but I figured I'd get this one because it looks cool, comfortable, yeah. And we needed a framing square, something like this. You need some type of straight edge or whatever this is. This, I was told to get this, so I got it. A floor roller. This was also suggested, you didn't need it, but when I watched the Home Depot video on YouTube, of course they said get this, so of course I had to get it. Now, floor cleaner. This is gonna be dependent on what you're putting your vinyl stick tile on top of. If you were doing it on top of like hardwood or wood, you would need a specific primer. But again, I'm gonna link the videos that I watched down below that were super helpful. So I just got a basic floor cleaner to try to get any residual stuff off of the floor and scrape it and paint up, which brings me to this, just normal Scotch-Brite heavy duty, like a scrubby pad thingy. So I got a whole bunch of those because I got a whole bunch of paint on the floor and now it needs to come up. One of the most important things, a chalk line. So apparently you need a chalk line, whether you want it or not. If you're gonna get any of this stuff, this is gonna be the most helpful because you need to figure out the exact center of the room so you can build from the center and work your way out. And then you can also figure out how much tile you're gonna need. I will say, I already bought all the tile. When I went on Home Depot, I plugged in the measurements of this room and it told me exactly how many I needed. So if I don't have enough, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Just say that. Anyways, chalk line. Then I picked up these because they're mostly made out of cotton. It's 90% cotton, and this specific floor cleaner needs to be completely dried and scrubbed with a cotton mop. But I don't like those and I didn't want to buy one, so I just got these so I can hand scrub everywhere that needs to actually be cleaned. Okay, so that's everything. I'm gonna take this table out of the room and get to scrubbing the floor. You guys, this is such a pain in the butt. It's saying that I have to mop the entire floor with it, let it sit for 5 to 8 minutes, and then rinse it completely. I'm not doing that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm just gonna spot scrub and then mop the whole thing with clean hot water. Okay, just an update really quick. So it is definitely beneficial to let that floor cleaner sit on the floor for a minute. Even just letting it sit for like 90 seconds, going back in to scrub the paint off, it immediately comes off. So it's definitely worth it to just give it a second to let it sit. Look at the difference. So this floor has not been cleaned. This floor has. So much better. It's just going to provide such a better stick for the tiles. Clean, not clean. So much better. Okay, back to it. Okay, time for the actual flooring. So it's been like an hour. I stopped to eat food. So if I have a food baby now, that's why. Pregnant. But stopped, wanted to give it like at least an hour so it could completely dry. So I wanted to make sure that any leftover cleaner or water that could be like hanging out at the very edges, or you know what I mean, like down here at the corners where it meets the floorboard, I wanted to make sure it was totally dry. So now that I've given it that amount of time to dry, it's actually time to start putting the actual flooring. So this part I'm super nervous for because I don't know what I'm doing, and this house isn't super old, but here, I'll show you. It is old enough where there are things like this. Do you see the corner of this room bows out right there? So it's not perfectly straight. There are little dips in the floor. It's not a perfect flooring by any means. So I'm going to have to be probably doing a lot of trimming and measuring. So I'm really nervous for that, but I think I can do it. The floor looks super clean now. I removed the grate from the central air. We're ready. So now that we're totally ready, I'm gonna start bringing everything into this room. We can get going. The first things we're gonna have to do is mark out and find the very center of my room, because like I said, we're going to build out from there. So we're gonna find the center this way, the center this way, and place our tiles right in the middle and build out, if that makes sense. Again, I'm gonna link any videos that I watched last night, which there were 2 main videos that I found super helpful. I'll link them down below. If I forget, please remind me in the comments and I'll link them, but I'll try my best to remember it the first time. No promises though, my memory is horrific. Okay, so, again, sorry it's gonna be super echoing here. There's no way to avoid that when we're in an empty room. So, I've got all my stuff here that I showed you guys earlier that I got from Home Depot, plus my tiles. So, these tiles, I want to get closer so I'm not yelling since it is going to be so echoey. Those tiles I had in the basement, and when I saw on one of the videos last night, they said make sure that you acclimate your tiles to the temperature of the room that they're going to be put in before, during, and after installation, because that can affect how well the adhesive works or doesn't work on the floor. So I took those up yesterday, so they're the same exact temperature of the room that I'm going to be putting them in. So if you're curious, they are the peel and stick tiles from Traffic Master, and the color is gray wood parquet, and it's a 12 by 12 inch tile. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 3, 6, I thought I had 7, but I have 6 boxes, and I believe it is a 11 by 13 size room. And I'm hoping, because I have this little indent over here, that that's gonna give me a little bit extra tile to work with if I have to cut any down to size, if that makes sense. So I've got all my tools, plus a trash bag. I'm gonna start cutting everything open so they're ready to use, and then mark out the exact center of my room. I'm not gonna talk through as I'm actually laying the tile down, because I'm not a professional and I don't wanna teach you guys how to do something wrong. So like I said, I'm gonna link the important videos that I watched to help me down below. Okay, now that I've got everything prepped, I filled up my chalk line with fresh chalk. I'm gonna find the center of the room and mark it out. All right, I'm going in and I am marking right over the chalk with the Sharpie, because all this dusty chalk just completely defeated the purpose of the insane amount of cleaning I just did to this floor. So I'm going to wipe up all the chalk, but first mark out my chalk lines with a Sharpie, because that just logically makes more sense than putting a ton of dust and chalk underneath the floor that's supposed to be absolutely spotless. That makes no sense to me. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I was just listening to Home Depot. That's what they said to do. Annoying. Okay guys, now that this chalk line has completely defeated the purpose of all of the cleaning that we've done, I marked it out with a Sharpie, and now I'm gonna go in and clean up all that chalk dust. Maybe I'm just not doing it right, but this seems so counterproductive. I don't know. All right, gonna clean it up and officially start laying down the tile. Okay guys. Oh no, I forgot, you guys aren't guys anymore, you're y'alls. Okay y'all. Finally ready to start placing the tile down. Now, from everything that I've been watching, it's either peel and stick planks or tiles like this, and I'm assuming when they say center it, they mean like this, but nobody is showing what they mean on the video, because how the hell are you going to know exactly where the center is underneath? So I'm assuming we're just going to lay them just like this. And then once we do these first four, we're gonna build off like steps. So we're gonna do one here, then another one, another one, another one, another one. I guess. I don't see what the benefit is of doing it one row at a time or the other way, because everyone has a different way that they like to do it from what I can see. So we're just gonna have to figure it out for ourselves and see what happens. So I'm just gonna peel the back off and start sticking them all down. Bottoms up. Okay guys, just wanted to give you an update. It is now 6:30 at night. I have not stopped yet. This is the first time I've stopped to eat a Nerd's Rope. My entire body feels broken. This is the very last section I have to fill in this gap right here. I don't want to show you anything else, but let me tell you, this has been a nightmare, a literal nightmare, but it does look amazing. My body's sore, never again. I'll see you in the morning with some bright sun to show you the final reveal. You guys, my whole body is an ache. Okay, so I know you're probably dying to see the finished product. What does the floor look like? What does the room look like now that everything is done and we're getting ready to put the furniture in? But before I show you, I just wanted to quickly reiterate how difficult it was to do this. And I don't mean like putting the floor in was actually difficult itself. It was just physically demanding. I don't know if that's just because I'm 28 years old now and I tried to do it all in one day. I did it by myself. I did the prep work the same day, but this was difficult. Like I said, my whole body is an ache. My wrists are killing me. My knees are bruised. My back hurts, but it looks beautiful. It totally transformed the vibe of this room. Now I feel like this room fits the rest of the modern feel of the house. Anyways, just wanted to reiterate how difficult it was because no one ever told me how hard it was. I guess I kind of just went into this blind. I've never done anything like this before. And having to cut all the extra little pieces around the outside of the room was what took forever. It was so tedious. I ended up working, rolling, cleaning until 8 last night, which made it a 12-hour work day. But I did leave to Home Depot to pick up the rest of the supplies that I needed. But still, it was hard work. And on top of that, when I was watching all the videos on YouTube, even the videos from Home Depot, which is where I got this flooring, they said you have to start the tiling in the middle of the room and work your way out. But they also said once you get to the edges, you want to make sure that you're not cutting tile pieces smaller than 6 inches. So you need to rearrange the tiles to make that happen. How do you rearrange perfectly square tiles if no matter what, you're starting in the center of the room? That makes no sense. How do you rearrange them? So I ended up having to cut like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 this way. Every side of the room I had to cut small tiles and it sucked. You can tell by the end I was getting frustrated. Again, it still looks great. Okay, I'm rambling. I'm sure you guys want to see what it looks like. Let's take a look.